Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Nick.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jackson.
From Top Notch Sports. And today we're going to be going over the Kansas City Chiefs free agency frenzy, where we break down what we think that they're going to do in free agency, what we think they're going to do this upcoming offseason, the mock draft, so on and so forth. Again, yes, I know you see probably my Raiders stuff, you're probably freaking out. But below me, we do got a Chiefs fan, so everything's going to be all right. So here we go. Let's hop right into it. Right now, they're about negative $21, $22 million in the hole. Not really looking like they can get out of this hole unless they restructure a few contracts. Again, that's possible. They probably don't want to cut a lot of people. Again, I've been hearing Anthony Hitchens might be floating around. But let's hop right into it. Mike, I'll have you start, maybe talk about the state of the team, and then we'll go to Jackson, and then we'll just float around. So state of the team and what moves they might be able to maybe potentially make this free agency if they were able to free up some money. Go ahead.
Now I'm looking at this like the Chiefs, they're going to be contenders year on, year out because Andy Reid is the coach, and they still got the big three. Still got Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill, along with a solid defense. But you are losing a couple positions. You're losing your center and Austin Ryder, and you're losing Andrew Wiley, your left guard. So that's question marks on already a questionable offensive line with Eric Fisher coming back, Mitchell Schwartz being banged up. So you're losing some offensive linemen, which I don't love, and you don't really have any money to make up for it. So you're going to have to draft that. And I trust Andy Reid's ability to draft. I think the Chiefs are going to be good. A lot of people were expecting them to be that dynasty. I don't think they're there yet. But what hurts them is not having any money. But when you look at this team, they still got so many pieces while not having money. So they should be able to still perform with good drafts. And like I just said, I trust Andy Reid to take good players.
Jackson, go ahead. Just sum up a little bit what you think's going on here.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you, Mike. I mean, Andy Reid, dude's been a hell of a coach for a very long time. Andy Reid's a winner in the NFL. So as long as Andy Reid's the coach of this team's going to be a contender. Especially like you said, they have the big three: Pat Mahomes, Kelce, and Tyreek Hill on the offense. I mean, those are just absolute machines on the offensive side of the ball. Offensive line, very, very questionable. Eric Fisher went down with an Achilles injury in the AFC Championship game. We recently just heard, though, the GM Brett Beach did have a press conference last Monday stating that he thinks Eric Fisher will be ready by training camp, which is that's a big sign. I mean, that's awesome news to hear, which really, helps the offensive line. But like you said, we're losing the left guard. We're losing two centers. One of our centers played very, very well this season. You got Laurent Duvernay-Tardif coming back from opting out. So you don't know really how he's going to play, taking a year off. And then you got Mitchell Schwartz, who missed pretty much the whole season with the back injury and just had back surgery. So you don't know if he's going to be back full all-pro form for him. So, it's all very, very questionable. You go to the defense. Defense is solid. You got Tyrann Mathieu. He single-handedly changed the culture of that defense. L'Jarius Sneed was a solid rookie this season, stealing the fourth round, in my opinion. Willie Gay, we hope to see more of him next season. So, they're in a good state on the defense side of the ball. Offensive side of the ball, you got Pat Mahomes, and then the offensive line's questionable. No money. They're not the draft well. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, so let me hop in right here real fast and just talk about this. Me and Jackson have had many conversations about this Kansas City Chiefs offensive line. And I've been saying how nervous I am for the Chiefs in the sense that they might be losing 3/5 of their line, right? They would be losing their center, the left guard, right? I'm pretty sure, right? Their left guard, who was Kletchley Osemele, and I know they had a few other. And they would be losing Eric Fisher because of the Achilles injury, $12 million, might not be able to play this year. There are reports that he might be able to come back and maybe takes a restructure because, again, coming off of an injury like that is very tough to do. So he might even reduce his contract a little bit, which would free up some money. Again, not enough, but maybe he'll do it just to better the team in any way he can. So that helps a lot. Having Eric Fisher, now we don't got to worry about the Lucas Niang thing that we've been talking about now for months. Oh, plays right tackle, left tackle, starting a third-round tackle who's never played a snap at left tackle next year for Pat Mahomes. Scary. Okay, we saw with the Kansas City Chiefs how they can struggle with a bad offensive line. Last year in the Super Bowl versus a very good defense, and the offense looked horrendous. They had the big three. Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. But we know that they honestly can't get it done alone. They need an offensive line. It's very important. You can have a big three all you want, but you need to protect the quarterback. So Having Eric Fisher is going to help if he is officially going to be back. That's huge for this team. You got Mitchell Schwartz, Eric Fisher. Now we can officially, in my opinion, if Eric Fisher is going to be back, we can throw out the first round offensive tackle out the window. We can now focus on the guy who I thought you guys should have drafted anyway on defense, Shaun Wade, the cornerback. If you bring in Shaun Wade to pair him up with Jerry Sneed on the other side, Juan Thornhill and Tyrann Mathieu, you got Willie Gay, you still got Anthony Hitchens as of right now, and then your defensive line, Frank Clark, Derek Notting, and Chris Jones. Look, I'm more excited about this defense than I am about your offense. And that might sound crazy, but I'm more excited about this defense. The Honey Badger, Thornhill, Sneed, Shaun Wade, that's a future. That's a future team. I understand that this offense is spectacular. I understand all that, but you're losing your center, you're losing your left guard, and we're still up in the air, honestly, about your left tackle.
We haven't even mentioned.
On the side, you got Tyreek Hill and you got Travis Kelce, but Kelsey's getting up there in age, and once you pay your quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, all that money, it's tough to maintain a squad. Again, well, Mike said the dynasty is in question. Once you pay your quarterback big money, it's proven that a top 3 quarterback has never been able to win a Super Bowl when they get paid top 3 money. But Mike, go ahead. What were you going to say?
We haven't even mentioned the fact that they're losing receivers. They're losing DeMarcus Robinson and they're losing Sammy Watkins. So they're going to need to pick up a receiver somewhere. Right now it's Tyreek Hill, Miko Hardman. You got Pringle and Chad Williams. So, I mean, either somebody needs to step up or they're going to have to go and bring another guy in because right now they're short at receiver. And if they cut Anthony Hitchens, who knows what they're going to be looking like at linebacker.
I hear you. Mike, I actually think that Pringle's not – I don't think he's under contract.
Pringle's he's a free agent.
So all they got is Chad Williams. I mean, how familiar are you with Chad Williams?
Not very familiar.
And that's a Chiefs fan. Not even – so we got to see – they're going to have to address that via the draft too.
Yeah. So here's what I think. So again, free agency, it's tough to say. I know this is supposed to be mainly free agency, but let's just hop right into now potentially the draft. I already mentioned Shaun Wade. I mean, again, the money in free agency.
Linebacker too.
What's that?
They might do their respects and look at linebacker in the first round too.
Absolutely. I mean, linebacker, or they can even go at D end. I mean, how's Michael Dana, Jackson?
He was a rookie last season. So he played limited snaps, so I think the snaps he did play, he played pretty solid. So I mean, I'd still like to see an edge possibly, but I think if we don't attack an edge in the early rounds, I think Michael Dana could be solid.
Yeah, because I mean, again, he is a rookie last year. You said.
Yeah.
I remember scouting him.
There's a lot of edges in this draft.
He's a fifth
linebackers in this draft.
What's that, Mike?
So there's some good edges you can get in the late first round. There's linebackers you can get in the back half of the first round. So we'll just have to see what they do.
Yeah.
I don't think they go offense in the first round. I do not.
No, the only position, I mean, you better look at wide receiver. Here's what you got to attack in this upcoming draft. Wide receiver at some point.
They won't in the first round.
Depth at the offensive line position. I definitely think you need a corner. You're losing Rashad Breeland and I think Shavarius Ward too, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah. No, yep. You're right.
You need
Ward's going. Yep.
And a defensive, I think you got to get an edge rusher and a linebacker. I mean, those are 5 needs that you got to fill in this year. You need depth at the offensive line. I mean, the offensive line is not getting any younger. You got to get some pieces to be able to go in and fill in whenever you need it. But that's what I personally think. I think the Chiefs team, again, I think the AFC West is getting tough. The Raiders are on the rise. The Chargers are getting really hot. And you got the Denver Broncos, who I think that we got to stop all like being like, oh, yeah, they're pretty damn good too. They scare the living hell out of me. These teams in the AFC West, I wouldn't be surprised if every team somehow splits this year. I mean, it's going to be tough. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm hoping the best for this Chiefs team. I'm a big fan of Andy Reid, and we'll see what happens. But that's all here from Top Notch Sports. Anything else from you guys?
No.
I got nothing.
All right.
Competitive division, I really do.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The Raiders are going to kick the shit out of the Chiefs this year.
All right.
Sure. Peace. We got our scouting analysis, mock drafts, live draft show, draft grades, coaching grades, and much more debates coming up after this series is over. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and we got much more coming your way. See you guys soon. Peace. We are.
Felt better.
See you guys soon. Peace.